Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we are going to check back in on our project that we started last Friday afternoon. Today is Wednesday. I believe when I originally made that video that I said I would give you an update the next day, which would have been Saturday, but I completely forgot and did not remember until yesterday, which was Tuesday, and was already in the middle of a bunch of other stuff going on and trying to get out of here. So just about exactly 4 days after we had fueled this lighter. Filled this up last Friday afternoon. I intended to make a video on Saturday to see if it would still light up. So it has been Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It is Tuesday afternoon, so a full 4 days since we fueled this lighter up. Still lighting up, still has fuel. So you can see that yesterday it was still fueled up, still readily lighting on demand. And that is the only times that it has been struck since last Friday afternoon around 1:30 or so. But now it is Wednesday, and I am going to go spend the afternoon with two of my grandkids. So I needed to shoot today's update just a little bit early. It is just about 11 a.m. on Wednesday, the 23rd of October, I believe. And still lighting up, just as it should. It does appear as though that flame was wanting to wane a bit, but still lighting up. So that was Wednesday, or the 5th day, and it was still lighting fine, but the flame did look a little weak. So we didn't test it on Thursday, but here we are, attempting to strike it on Friday. And you can see that the lighter does ignite, but it doesn't appear as though there is enough fuel left in the tank to carry a full flame. We're going to test that a few more times here and just have unfruitful sparks. But you saw the ember glow up there when it lit the first time, and we are going to strike it several more times here, and much of that will be fruitless as well. But in the end, it will spark up to a glowing ember on the top of that wick again, as you can see, which obviously if it is going to glow like that, then there is not enough fuel in the tank. So that would have been almost a week. The video you just saw of this lighter being struck and the wick glowing up to a strong ember but producing no flame. The first time that it lit on that Friday, it did have a very, very small flame before the ember developed and settled into the top of that wick. But then the second time it was just simply an ember, and that's it. So a week, or close to a week, when you've got a vintage Petrol lighter that has a rubber O-ring on the bottom, that seems like a pretty good run to me. Especially when you consider, and you will watch me fill this here, we've got a dropper, and that dropper is very slow to absorb into the material. I don't think we spilt any, although there may be some gathered around the recess there. Now another dropper, let that absorb. you can see that fluid bubbling down in there as that organic cotton absorbs it. And I don't think that this will receive the entire third dropper. There you can see that that fuel is pooling and is no longer absorbing. So about 2.5 droppers is all that a Cygnus aluminum block roller petrol lighter will hold as far as its fuel is concerned. And I'm not really concerned with shaking that fuel out, as these lighters are so good at striking up and seem to be impervious to vapor lock. That wick is definitely wet, so it will not hurt anything to leave that snuffer open for just a moment and let some of that fuel subside. You can see it strikes right up. So when you consider that other Cygnus lighters that I've tested, and those lighters would for the most part have paper gaskets on them, the kind of paper gaskets that you used to see on all kinds of machinery, carburetors, other kinds of automobile equipment, gasket type material, that a Cygnus lighter with a paper gasket on it will be fortunate to last into the third day. Sometimes seem like they are losing all their fuel within 1 or 2 days. But with this rubber seal, O-ring, whatever you want to call it, sealing off the fuel chamber, it appears as though this particular Penguin Cygnus petrol lighter gets much better fuel economy, and that you could fuel it up and carry it around with you for at least a week or a week or so. And if you consider that perhaps sometime, maybe 4 or 5 days in, you drop a little more fuel, and then you just do that every 4 or 5 days, then it's not so much of a chore. And you've got a lighter that is very elegant in appearance, extremely detailed and fancy scroll work, engraving, stimpling, whatever any of these other words are for these techniques that have been put upon this gold tone aluminum block lighter. It's one that I'm happy to put into my pocket and carry with me wherever I go. Until next time.